Hey, welcome back to part 4 of our series. If you've made it this far, you already know the drill. My name is Kayla, I'm a data science major, and I use data to prove why the internet's narratives around sports are usually completely fabricated. Before I begin, I just want to give a slight apology if I sound under the weather. I kinda am. I'm not sick, but, there's something going on with my throat, pause, and I think I have like post-nasal drip or something similar because my nose is stuffy now. Hasn't been for this entire week, and now it is. But yeah, in our last video, we looked at the Olympic stage, and today we're bringing it home to domestic leagues. We are comparing the marketing, the culture, and the community of the WNBA versus the NBA. And we have to start by killing the internet's favorite myth, the idea that nobody cared about the WNBA before Caitlin Clark. Did the 2024 and 2025 draft classes bring an unprecedented surge in viewership? Absolutely. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. But to say the league was dead before them is mathematically false, especially as we will go on and we compare to the not so much the MLB, but the MLS and the NHL. If you consider any of those league dead, then sure, the WNBA is dead. So let's look at the baseline data. In 2023, before Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese ever stepped on a professional court, the WNBA viewership had already grown by 33%, breaking the 500,000 mark with an average of 505,000 viewers per game. Looking at some of the other data, I think it's easy to compare. Looking at the data, that might sound a little misleading because in 2023, yes, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese did not play in that season, but as you will see, I don't think it's too misleading. Sports economists have repeatedly pointed out that the WNBA was growing at the exact healthy organic pace expected for a sports league in its third decade. Just because the 2024 and 2025 seasons were the catalyst, similar to Bird and Magic's rivalry heating up after 1982, which we will talk about very shortly, that brought the WNBA ratings up, doesn't mean that they saved a dying league. They caused the WNBA to jump 2 decades of projected financial growth in just 2 years. When Bird and Magic entered the league in 1978, you'd think the league took off immediately, or at the very least increased. Looking at the year before, to be fair, in 1977, they were at 12.7% of households watching the NBA Finals. Brief sidebar, um, there's actually no stats that I could find that showed like the millions amount of people watching the finals, at least through this period. Um, so that's why it's percentages. Um, but it's clear that it diminished because in 1978 it was at 9.9%. In the following year, it was at 7.2%. In 1980 and 81, I believe it like slightly increases or like it stays. But in 1982, which would be Bird and Magic's fourth, fifth season, it was a record low 6-7%. A mark, funnily enough, that the previous 5 NBA finals have not passed. Compared to the women's, Reese and Clark entered the league in 2024. Looking at the previous year in 2023, as per mentioned, viewership went up. In 2022, it was at 0.53 million people, and it jumped up to 0.73 million people in 2023. In 2024, which is the year Reese and Clark entered the league, it jumped to a record high 1.6 million viewers. And 2025, it stabilized at 1.5 million viewers. Need I remind you that starting with 1980, one of Bird's or Magic's teams were in the finals until 1989, a 9-year stretch. While the Fever, 10-year, while the Fever and Sky, the Mystic when the season starts, crazy trade, didn't make the finals. Yet. Quickly, I've probably been showing the WNBA Finals average viewership. What I meant earlier is that Like we can see from 2019, 2020, which was a bubble year, so that's crazy. Um, it has been on the increase, right? My only pushback would be maybe 2019 was, the down year, was like the downest of down years, or that it has been in kind of a wave that averages out to like 0.49 million or 0.5 million or 0.46 million, right? Those are my explanations. But yeah, it definitely, like, this was gonna happen sooner or later, right? It happened with the NBA. It makes sense. As well as that, by 2025, the WNBA regular season averaged over 1.3 million viewers on ESPN networks. And if you want proof that fans are buying into the brand and the culture, and not just one single player, look at the expansion teams. The Golden State Valkyries, in their 2025 debut season, sold out all 22 home games and averaged a league record 18,064 fans per game. The foundation was already built and the new players just lit the match. But TV ratings are just the corporate metric. Where the WNBA is absolutely embarrassing the NBA right now is in digital culture and community engagement. If you look at the NBA, their marketing model is incredibly outdated. It's fragmented across a dozen different expensive cable subscriptions, and they market a corporate sanitized product. They sell 10-second highlight reels of a dunk. Um, I've seen clips where it has like the explosion emoji or like the bulging eyes emoji. And it's like, what a dunk, what a crazy play. And it's like something that, you know, isn't really too remarkable when there's someone like Wembenyama. And they do all this, but it's very little to create a sustainable Gen Z community. Let me give you exact numbers. According to massive digital engagement reports, 8 of the top 10 professional North American sports teams, this is all men's teams, right? All men's teams, all women's teams, with the highest social media engagement are WNBA teams. 8 out of 10 are WNBA teams. Let's look at TikTok specifically because it's probably the biggest one right now. The NBA averages about 1707 engagements per 1,000 followers. The WNBA averages an unbelievable 272.24 engagements per 1,000 followers, roughly a 15 times increase. The WNBA dominates because they are a digital first league. They market the lifestyle and they market the 40 minutes basketball, both. They lean into viral internet humor and they market the players pre-game tunnel outfits like it's New York Fashion Week. And they let their players have unapologetic, loud personalities, not like their male counterparts who are just basketball robots. The NBA markets a sport, the WNBA markets a culture. Uh, you want a masterclass in how to successfully market to a modern, diverse Gen Z audience, look no further than my New York Liberty and their mascot, Ellie the Elephant. Normally, sports mascots are very dude-coded or kid-coded. They act like hyperactive kids, they shoot t-shirt cannons into the crowd, and they are mostly there to entertain the young kids, right? The 7-year-olds. The Liberty completely flipped the script. They made Ellie unapologetically feminine, they gave her a distinct diva personality, and they had her actively participate in the tunnel walks wearing custom designer outfits. Ellie is a legitimate pop culture influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers and content generating millions of engagement. She has scored her own massive brand collaborations with companies like Xbox, Bumble, Fental Beauty, and she even became the first celebrity spokesperson for SC Nail Polish, a campaign that generated over 4 billion organic impressions. This is not a cute social media stunt one-off. Ellie's cultural impact has helped the Liberty drive a 64% increase in average attendance, and the team's overall e-commerce revenue skyrocketed by an astounding 416%. When a brand leans into its authentic identity instead of trying to be corporate and safe, the community responds with their wallets. And I think overall, people are very encouraging of companies not trying to be corporate and safe. In conclusion, the comment section can complain about women's basketball all they want, but the reality is that the NBA's marketing model is actively aging out, highlighted by the NFL, NHL, MLB, and even MLS growth in the past couple of years. The WNBA is building a highly engaged, culturally relevant digital empire that actually understands its audience. Next week in part 5, we are doing the grand finale. We've talked about the media, we've talked about marketing, college game, but for the final video, we are going to be getting into the reasons the WNBA has failed in the past and present and how they can grow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the finale.